My name is Jerry Longcore. I'm one of the 3 individuals on the management committee, people from the University of Maine, from the Orono Land Trust, and the City of Bangor. A bog is formed by a big basin, probably by glaciers. Years ago it might have been filled with ice and melted down, filled with water. Vegetation came in because it was a deep basin, and the vegetation died from year to year, but it built up because it was acidic, and also that it was there was not much oxygen down there, so the plant material couldn't decompose. So it builds up year after year after year. So in essence, that's what a bog is. This is a really an interesting bog because it's a raised bog, and that means that the center of the bog is actually a bit higher than the edges. And that has quite a few ramifications for where the water goes, because the water then flows to the edges, and the only nutrients that come into this bog then are from atmospheric deposition of rain or snowfall and the dust particles and so forth. So that has led to some interesting adaptations of certain plants. Some of the plants out there, 3 or 4 species actually, are modified in certain ways to capture insects so that they can augment their diet a little bit. But there's a pitcher plant which has a big pitcher basin-like structure where it fills up with water, and then the lip of the pitcher plant have little spines that are decumbent. They point downward, so if an insect lands on that, it slides into the water and drowns, and the plant then digests it and uses it for its own purposes. So we started back in it was either 2000, I guess it was, or 1999 or 2000, back in there, the planning. By 2003, we actually had the boardwalk in, and it opened in June. We had crews, over 150 volunteers. We had crews from the Charleston Correctional Facility. We had the Maine Youth Corps, and everybody worked together. We had big carts we put together to put the sections on, which are 8 feet long, and they weighed quite a bit. But we could put those on, and we built it just like the railroads were built. When we go out and we'll see where it changes, we go out this way and it comes a big loop. So once we had the first part in, then we had 2 teams working until we came around and met. And when we met, we only were off by about 1.5 feet, which was not too bad for going through a bog. Most people don't get a chance to go out in a bog. I mean, I have, because I was a trained wildlife biologist, and so I've been in a lot of habitats and a lot of bogs, but a lot of people just don't have that chance. And it's a good way to learn, and it's a good way to protect the bog.